Okay, so here we are, live, week 5, Circa Survivor, Circa Millions, Vegas Horsefulls, Proxy. Scott, I can open this one saying that I've got at least a few on free roll. I got home, I don't even know what day I got home. 9 days, 9 flights, 6 countries, flew 20 something hours traveled 20 hours to get home. Did a thing with the bookie versus the Bostonian on Thursday. Looked at the charts for the first time and thought, hell, the Rams should be a survivor play for at least a couple of them. Was ready to message you to say, hey, get in a couple. Looked at the charts again, fell asleep, woke up, and yeah, I think I've got a few free rolls here because it felt like the Rams were probably one of the spots where you should have used some this week.
A lot of people use the Rams. Rams were a bloody pick on the proxy service this week. There was people, lots and lots of people got them in. I was really surprised they were getting hit as hard as they were. But yeah, I've talked to several modelers this week, and they're predicting this is going to be a really bloody Sunday for Survivor. And Thursday night they were dead on. So
Yep.
it could be a wild, wild weekend. And I want to apologize to everybody for us starting late tonight.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Nebraska game was the Nebraska game. You've got to wait until after that. I mean,
Exactly.
it's out of our hands.
Right. We did not make the schedule. All we got to do is live it. So Nebraska played one hell of a ball game. Best special teams game they've played in probably close to 10 years. I was so proud of them. And they're gonna do absolutely great in the playoffs, and I can't wait to see their run for the national title. But we'll go ahead and talk a little bit of NFL today, since everybody probably already watched that ball game. And we had another interesting game this morning with that Texas getting beat by Florida. That's like the modelers are telling me it's going to be a bloody weekend. But let's get started with the NFL, because the NFL is going to be really interesting this weekend. Let's talk about millions first, because it makes a whole lot more sense to me than the Survivor one does. Everybody was betting Chargers minus 2.5. Adam, talk to us about that ball game.
Yeah, I think that was one that I definitely used. Chargers coming off that loss to the Giants last week, or am I a week behind? I'm not quite sure right now. Um, but yeah, I mean, it looks like it's a solid 3 everywhere. We're very flat on the game overall. However, all the master money is on the Commanders there, so maybe we end up being wrong. But it is at 3 and a few 3.5. So 2.5 seemed like a play, and I think I used them in 3 or 4 of my 5 picks there. But I honestly don't even know where I'm in the millions. I don't know if I'm in 10 and 10, 5 and 15, 15, 5, 20 nothing. I had such a bad first week that I'm just punching in the numbers now. So all I'm trying to do is survive in the other one. So what were the second picks in the millions?
Well, this is very interesting, and this is the first time I've said this to you. We've literally got a five-way tie for second place. The money was there. I should say not money. The picks were scattered, and they were scattered very, very evenly. If you didn't take the Chargers, you probably took one of these five: Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Lions, and Bills. I couldn't believe it. People had the Bills left, but they turned out to be the second pick this week, along with these other five. You want to start with that Cowboy game?
So what was the Circa number on the Cowboys?
Uh, Give me a second, I'll tell you. I have that up on Spot Odds, that you can pull that right up. If I would just pull it here, Cowboys.
I think it was 2.5.
Still looking for it. Where in the world are the Cowboys in the circuit contest? 2.5.
I think it was
Minus
two and a
two and a half.
half for memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one went 2.5. I mean, the game's 1.5. I did use the Cowboys. Um, I'm going to dive back into this game a little bit at the end of the show. But what was it? Give us the second one of those 5, and I'll have a look at those as well.
The Eagles. What do you think about the Eagles on this spot?
Yeah, so the Eagles ones was interesting. I think I had them in a few spots as well. It feels like, the Broncos numbers a little light. Um, it's about 53% of the money on the Broncos. However, we're looking at like 97% of the master money on the Eagles. There is a bunch at 3, bit at 3.5, but that looks like a solid right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I sort of went against the number a bit there as well.
Okay, next we've got the Giants. What Giants team are we going to see, though? Giants +2.
Yeah, so that one I actually played, I think, the Saints in a spot. We're well balanced there. Looking at 75% of the master money is on the Saints. Uh, you know, Giants, Saints, two bad teams. Saints had a couple of opportunities. They actually pushed the Bills, deep in the third quarter last week till the Bills, finally showed up again. But I don't know. This is a tough game. It looks well balanced. Again, 75% of the master money on the Saints. I think I did use the Saints in a few of mine, just picking on that side, thinking that they'll get this one at home. But yeah, it feels like a junk game.
Yeah, I think it is. Definitely a junk game. And the next one that comes up on our list is the Lions -10. And again, I have all these lines on spot odds. All you have to do is add the bookie called Circa contest, and you can see them right on your screen.
Yeah, this one's one of the lower bet games. We've got about 68% of the money on the Lions, but there is a bunch at -9, -9.5. There's also some teaser stuff down to 2, 2.5. And on the master chart, there's really nothing there. Cincinnati's just been rough since losing Burrows. The Detroit Lions, since that first week, which wasn't necessarily a bad game to lose, have, started to turn up again and pile the points on.
And your final millions game is the Buffalo Bills. And they get selected a ton. So what do you think about the Bills here at -7.5 in the contest?
So the Bills, all right, we got ambulance. So right now, I went to Mackinac Island today, so I'm halfway home in a rest stop somewhere. So, there'll be a few ambulance noises around as well. The Bills, we're looking at 78% of the money is on the Bills. It's well balanced on the master. Again, I'm seeing a lot of teasers there down as well to below the 3. The Bills have been interesting at home. I know I had them in the survivor against Miami, and it took that, late pick to sort of survive there. They were a little rough against the Saints. So Patriots finally showed up last week against, the Panthers, which, a bad team, but they showed up. So very, very heavy the Bills money here. We're going to need the Patriots, but on the master chart, it's well balanced.
Okay, well, that kind of rounds out the millions. Now let's talk about Survivor, and this is going to be a very quick talk. Basically, everyone in the proxy service picked one of 3 teams. Rams are already home as losers, so a bunch of people are out of the contest. I don't know how many is going to be officially out at Circa, but it devastated my group. The other 2 that were in the top 3 were the Arizona Cardinals. Could that be your best play of this weekend?
So I've played the Arizona Cardinals as well. I'd been doing it where, I had 10 picks. I lost a couple the first week, but there was 5 cards that I was playing the same thing week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I didn't use all 5 this week on the Arizona Cardinals because they scare the shit out of me. As bad as Tennessee is, it's still the Arizona Cardinals. But we're looking where, it's 90+% of the money's on them at the spread -7.5. There's nothing on the master chart. When I look at the money line, it's all Arizona Cardinals, while a lot of that's parlays. They should win. They probably should cover. I've got half of my picks on this one, so I hope they do survive. But I imagine that one would be a fairly heavy wipeout if they get beat as well.
Yeah, it would definitely devastate my proxy. The other one that we need to talk about is the Colts. Tell me about the Colts. I think you had a few Colts too, didn't you?
I did play a couple of Colts, so 25% of my plays are on the Colts. all the money's on them. It's close, 73% of the money's on the spread, 64% of the master money on them at the spread. The money line was surprisingly, though, because the money line is well balanced money-wise, and obviously Raiders are a big dog, but all the master money is on the Raiders at the money line. So that scared me a little bit, looking at the chart of that. So, again, I only used 2 of my 8 left on that. I actually threw 2 onto the Vikings tomorrow morning. I was at that Pittsburgh Vikings game last week. Hopefully they, just going from Dublin down to London, they can sort of keep a bit of sanity on the same time zone. It's the Browns. So, surely the Browns will probably screw me, but I thought this was a spot to try and use the Vikings, because I really hope that, while Detroit Lions should win, I've used them in a few spots already. Bills, I've used them in all my spots already. So I'm just sort of hoping one of those others get caught and I sneak through with at least 6 of my 8 is what I would like to get through this week. But I'll take all 8.
Well, right. I was actually stunned when I saw you had Minnesota. All the modelers I'm talking to all week long are saying that's a really scary game too. So they're thinking this is.
It is a scary game. It is a scary game. But I did look at the charts. We're looking at almost 78% of the master money is on the Minnesota Vikings money line. Overall money, for the house, it's not a loser, because it's a fairly well balanced book across the board. So again, I'm probably playing just spreading them across 3 games like this, but just that Arizona one scares me a lot.
Yeah, okay. Then you've got a couple of them that are interesting then. And so it looks like the NFL looks like they're going to be planning on a European expansion, doesn't it?
Well, it is, and I'll tell you what, while people said that the UK games haven't had the atmosphere that the Dublin one did, that have been to both of them, it was a great game. It was a great atmosphere. I'd definitely be keen to go back to another Dublin game, and I guess have a look at the UK ones as well. But they're trying to, a bit like the NBA, they're trying to expand internationally. Oddly, they've got a Puerto Rican singer at the Super Bowl this year and things. They're really trying. So, it's a good product. It's a good sport. And I think globally it is picking up support.
And I think it's good for all of us, especially the gamblers. Gives us a couple more teams to bet on. So I'm all in favor of them expanding overseas and expanding the Sunday. Because on this Sunday again, I'll be starting the first game at 6:30 a.m., which means I've got to get up another couple of hours earlier, which is okay. Makes it for a long day, but a great day. So I'm all in favor of it. And then if we get a couple of more teams, maybe we can have a doubleheader every Monday night, because that's a huge success in my opinion also.
Well, the individual games, as a bookie and a bettor, these single games give so much opportunity for so much volume. When
Right.
people are just centered on one game, it drives volume. So we're all for these single games. I know there's even conversations with college football taking over the Friday nights to sort of have spread out games there as well. The more single games there are that are TV games, I'm all for that, because it definitely helps us with liquidity.
100% agree with you. Well, that pretty much covers our proxy for this weekend. So did you end up having a game of the week, or did you not?
So I really shouldn't, but I'm going to go out on a limb here, because I'm just looking at these charts and I'm looking at one game in particular, and they'll probably screw me over. I know we're on a good run. We missed that field goal week 1, but we've had 3 winners in a row since then. But I'm going to have to go with the Cowboys over the Jets. Our chart is so heavy on the Jets. We're looking at 94% of the money overall on the Jets. 90 plus money of the master money's on the Jets. Cowboys is going to be a big result for us when they win tomorrow. So I just looking at the charts, nothing stood out with the way we've been playing, heavy rec, heavy master on opposite sides. But I just looked at this, and this is going to be a huge game for the house. So, go those Cowboys.
Well, that should be another great game. Also, I'm really excited about tomorrow. And like I said to you before, all the modelers are telling me it's going to be chaos tomorrow. So let's hang on. Let's see what happens, and we'll report back next week.
All right. All the best to everyone out there. Hope you've had a good day betting today, and all the best with what's maybe a bloody Sunday for either the bettors or the bookies tomorrow.
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.
All right. All right. Cheers.